The human brain, a labyrinth of secrets, billions of neurons firing, electrical impulses weaving the tapestry of our thoughts, emotions, our very existence. But what happens when these signals turn rogue? When the music of the mind becomes a discordant symphony of terror? This is where our story begins, in the shadowy corridors of neurological research, where one scientist stumbles upon a signal so chilling, so profoundly disturbing, that it threatens to unravel the very fabric of our understanding. Dr. Amelia Wright, a rising star in the field of neuroscience, dedicated her life to decoding the brain's enigmatic language. Driven by a personal tragedy, the unexplained disappearance of her brother, she sought answers in the labyrinth of neural pathways. Her obsession to find meaning in the seemingly random firings of our minds. Little did she know, her relentless pursuit would lead her to a discovery that would shatter her sanity and challenge everything she thought she knew about the brain's uncharted territories. It began with a patient, a young man admitted to the neurological ward with a series of unexplained seizures. His name, Samuel Hale. His symptoms, a chilling cacophony of whispers, visions of unimaginable horrors, and an overwhelming sense of impending doom. The medical team was baffled. Conventional treatments failed. Then, Dr. Wright noticed something peculiar in Samuel's brain scans. A cluster of neurons firing in an erratic, almost rhythmic pattern like a distress signal from the deepest recesses of his mind. The signal was unlike anything Dr. Wright had ever encountered. It was as if the very fabric of reality had been twisted and distorted, presenting her with a puzzle that defied all logic and reason. It defied all known neurological patterns. The brain scans showed activity that was both erratic and strangely rhythmic, a paradox that left her both fascinated and terrified. It was chaotic, unpredictable, yet strangely organized, as if it followed a sinister logic all its own. The patterns seemed to dance on the edge of comprehension, teasing her with glimpses of an underlying order that was just out of reach. It was like a virus, spreading its tendrils through Samuel's mind, corrupting his thoughts, his perceptions, his very soul. Each new scan revealed the extent of the corruption, a dark force that seemed to be rewriting his very essence. As Dr. Wright delved deeper, she realized the signal wasn't random. It was deliberate, a carefully constructed message that was being transmitted through Samuel's brain. It was a language, a form of communication from a realm beyond human comprehension. The symbols and patterns began to form a coherent structure, a message that was both alien and disturbingly familiar. A realm she never wanted to believe existed. The more she uncovered, the more she realized that this was not just a scientific anomaly, but a glimpse into a darker, more sinister reality. A reality where the boundaries between the known and the unknown were blurred, and where the very essence of humanity was at stake. Section 5. Dreams where reality fractures. Dr. Wright's research took a terrifying turn when she began experiencing vivid, disturbing dreams. Dreams that mirrored Samuel's visions of horror. Twisted landscapes, grotesque figures, and an overwhelming sense of dread seeped into her subconscious. The line between reality and nightmare blurred. Sleep offered no escape, only a deeper descent into the abyss that Samuel's signals seemed to be prying open. Section 6. Hallucinations, the walls crumble. The signal's influence intensified. Dr. Wright's waking hours became haunted by hallucinations. Shadows moved at the edge of her vision. Whispers taunted her from the static of the lab equipment. The walls of her reality were crumbling, revealing the terrifying truth that lay beneath. She was no longer just an observer. She was becoming entangled in the signal's web, her mind slowly being consumed by the same darkness that held Samuel captive. Section 7, The Breakthrough, a terrifying revelation. Driven to the brink, Dr. Wright made a chilling breakthrough. The signal wasn't originating from Samuel's brain, it was being transmitted to him. It was a beacon, a call from something ancient and malevolent, something that existed in the spaces between our reality. The signal wasn't a symptom of an illness, it was an invitation, a gateway for an unimaginable horror to enter our world. Section 8. The Reckoning. The Abyss Stares Back. In the heart of the night, the hospital stood as a silent sentinel, its corridors bathed in an eerie, dim light. The air was thick with an unsettling stillness, a prelude to the chaos that was about to unfold. The signal reached its terrifying crescendo, a haunting symphony of otherworldly frequencies that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. It was as if the universe itself was crying out in agony, a harbinger of the horrors to come. Samuel's body contorted violently as the entity on the other side exerted its control. His muscles twisted and spasmed, his face a mask of sheer torment. The room echoed with his guttural screams, a chilling testament to the malevolent force that had taken hold. The room pulsed with an unseen energy, a dark, malevolent force that seemed to breathe with a life of its own. Shadows danced on the walls, flickering in the unnatural light that emanated from Samuel's convulsing form. Dr. Wright, paralyzed by fear and fascination, could only watch as the veil between worlds ripped open. His mind raced with 1,000 questions, but his body was frozen. Rooted to the spot by the sheer terror of the unknown, in a blinding flash of light and a deafening roar, Samuel was gone. Vanished. The room was left in a stunned silence, the echoes of the supernatural event lingering in the air like a ghostly whisper. The signal, the whispers, the terror, all silenced. The room, once a battleground of cosmic forces, now stood empty and still, a stark contrast to the chaos that had just unfolded. The only evidence left behind, a chilling emptiness that seemed to hum with an ancient, unfathomable power. The air was thick with a sense of foreboding, a lingering reminder that the abyss had indeed stared back, and it had left its mark on the world. Section 9. Unanswered Questions. An Open Ending. Dr. Wright was left in the wreckage of her sanity, forever scarred by the encounter. Her once brilliant mind, now a labyrinth of fear and confusion, struggled to piece together the fragments of reality that had been shattered. The lab, once a place of discovery and hope, had become a haunting reminder of the unknown forces that lurked just beyond the veil of human understanding. The signal was gone, but the questions lingered. The static on the screen seemed to whisper secrets that were just out of reach, taunting those who dared to seek the truth. Each flicker of light, each burst of static, was a reminder of the mysteries that remained unsolved. What was the nature of the entity? Was it a being of pure malevolence or something beyond human comprehension? The ancient symbols etched into the walls of forgotten places hinted at a knowledge long lost to time. They spoke of a power that defied the very fabric of reality. Where did it come from? The void, an endless expanse of darkness, seemed to hold the answers. The ruins, remnants of a civilization that had perhaps encountered the entity before, stood as silent witnesses to the horrors that had unfolded. The otherworldly landscape, bathed in the cold light of distant stars, was a stark reminder of the vastness of the universe and the smallness of human existence. And why was Samuel chosen? The young man, isolated and alone, had become the focal point of a cosmic drama. The old photographs, capturing moments of innocence and joy, now seemed like relics of a past that had been irrevocably altered. The shadowy figure, always watching, was a constant reminder of the unseen forces at play. Most importantly, was Samuel the First, or merely the harbinger of a terrifying new chapter in human history? The crowded cityscape, teeming with life, seemed oblivious to the impending doom. The empty street with its solitary figure was a stark contrast, a symbol of the isolation and fear that gripped those who knew the truth. The close-up of the fearful eyes, wide with terror, spoke volumes of the dread that had taken hold. The answers, lost in the echoing silence of the cosmos, offered no comfort. Only the chilling certainty that the abyss once stared into stares back. The vast universe, with its twinkling stars, seemed indifferent to the plight of humanity. The abandoned hallway, echoing with the footsteps of those who had come before, was a reminder of the countless souls who had sought answers and found only more questions. The deep, dark cave, with its unseeable end, was a metaphor for the journey into the unknown, a journey that offered no guarantees, only the promise of more mysteries to unravel.